Well, if your third grader is struggling to read, they could be held back. This after some recent changes to requirements.
8 News Now anchor Ozzy Mora spoke to parents and educators on the front lines of Nevada's literary crisis.
Learning to read is a different process for all. Aubriana Tullard, a mother of 2, says she feels helpless at times.
Because as a parent, you want your child to be successful.
Wanting to make sure her kids meet the state's grade level standard in reading.
In the school district, I have found that everyone does have a different learning style.
But Tullard says an updated bill could put even more stress on families.
If a child does not master the necessary reading skills by grade 3, that they're going to look at mandatory retention.
She's talking about Read by Grade 3. According to the Nevada Department of Education, the Read by Grade 3 Act was passed in 2015 by the Nevada State Legislature. It establishes a statewide comprehensive system of early reading instruction and intervention aimed at accelerating reading growth. As for the Grade 3 mandatory retention requirement, it was removed during the 2019 session. It was reintroduced and passed during the 2023 session as part of Assembly Bill 400. The change takes effect July 1st, 2028. And mother of 8, Victoria Melendez says she's for the requirement.
I actually think that retention is actually beneficial and necessary for some children.
Melendez telling me she actually retained her oldest child. And now their 11-year-old is struggling in school and wants to do the same for him. In fact, the state education department says in 2023, 121 students were retained in the 3rd grade in Nevada.
If this letter looks familiar to you, then now is the time to contact your child's teacher to develop a plan to get them at reading level. It's the Read by Grade 3 at-risk letter. Students who are in kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grades who score at or below the 40th percentile on the MAP Growth Reading Assessment are identified as performing below grade level.
Rachel Vinograd, a Read by Grade 3 strategist for CCSD, says she has seen a lot of these letters go out to families.
Does it concern me how many? Yeah, I mean, that's the work that we're doing here, right? That's what I'm passionate about, raising our literacy rates. After that letter is given, the work is incredible.
She says there are systems in place to help students get back on track. Vicki Kreidel, president of the National Education of Southern Nevada, says there isn't an easy solution.
How detrimental is it to label children before they are even ready to read?
I think labels to the actual child itself, they don't necessarily need to know that they're a struggling reader. Retention in and of itself is not a cure for students who are struggling readers.
It all starts at home. Kreidel urging families to pick up a book and read with their kids. Ozzy Mora, 8 News Now.
Now, during a recent Nevada Education Department meeting, board members talked about good cause exemptions that would cancel out a Read by 3rd grade retention. So an example is if a child has already been retained, they wouldn't be held back a second time, even if they don't meet the state standard percentile.